Oops edition. So I'm Sarah. I'm a second year PhD student studying religious studies at a Canadian university, and today I am taking the second half of my comprehensive exams, or my qualifying exams. They start for me today, which is absolutely terrifying because I don't feel nearly as prepared and ready for this as I would like, but at this point there is nothing else I can really do. I just gotta jump in with both feet essentially and do the best that I can. So the way my program at my university does these comprehensive exams is that they split it into two. So I had my general comprehensive exams in January, and now I'm taking my field comprehensive exams now in June. And this part is going to be more to do with stuff in my own field, hence the field aspect of it. So it's stuff that's going to be relevant to my own dissertation proposal and writing that down the line. So it's more interesting material generally than I think the last exam that I took, the general one, but also I feel like there's more pressure on me to know this material better since it is within the realm of what I'm going to be studying. So I'm a little bit nervous for that. My doctoral committee, who is going to be grading this exam, there are 4 books by 2 different committee members on this exam, so I hope that I can do them justice. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me. I'm feeling pretty anxious, pretty stressed, as is to be expected, and I'm just looking forward to having this done and over with, especially the part that I'm doing today, which is a 4-hour closed book exam. So I'm just gonna have to write one essay in 4 hours with no help from anything, and I don't have the best memory ever. I have a terrible memory, so I'm a little worried about remembering the authors' names and dates and things, as well as I'm just not a fast writer at all. I'm a very, very slow writer generally, and I am just really concerned about running out of time. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It is currently about noon-ish, and I'm planning to start writing in about an hour or less. It's online, so I can pretty much just start whenever, which is really nice to have that flexibility. Originally, it was going to be at 9 in the morning it was going to start, and for most people, I know that would be fine, but I am not a morning person by any means. I am the opposite of that, and I'm still usually asleep at 9 a.m. So I don't think that would have been the best option for me, as I probably would have still been pretty tired and groggy. And yeah, so I'm gonna start it mid-afternoon and see how it goes. Until then, I'm just gonna do a little bit more reading, a little bit more last minute prep, some brainstorming on potential questions I might get, and just try to relax as well and de-stress basically. So I am headed out right now to grab a Red Bull because I have a sneaking suspicion that I might need it, and I'm also hoping that a walk will calm my nerves a little. Okay, so it is 1:30 now, and I am about to get started. I am super nervous. I'm just trying to stay as calm as I possibly can before jumping into this. I am feeling a little bit more tired than I would like. I have a bit of a headache. I think that it has something to do with the weather, since it's such a gloomy, rainy, muggy kind of day. It's also super hot, and we don't have AC in our apartment building, so yeah, it's not the most ideal conditions to be writing an exam, but I think it's fine. I'm just gonna do the best that I can, honestly. I've got a Red Bull and I've got my liquid lunch of a vegan smoothie protein mix thing, so I'm pretty set there, and yeah, I'm about ready to get started. I have 4 hours for this exam, like I said, so I'm gonna set a timer as soon as I start it for 20 minutes for outlining straight away. I'm gonna only give myself 20 minutes to outline because I can get really carried away with outlines and then not leave myself enough time to do the actual writing. So I'm gonna cut myself off at 20 minutes no matter what and just start writing. And then when I have 20 minutes left on the clock, I'm going to stop writing and start like editing and like fitting in stuff where I think I could, do better or improve my arguments, things like that. So yeah, this is stressful. I feel like how well I'm going to do on this part is going to be directly correlated to the questions that I get. If I get questions that like I've prepared for and that I've been thinking about, I think I should be okay. But if I get something that, comes out of left field and that I wasn't really thinking much about, then I might be kind of screwed here. But hopefully that won't be the case. My supervisor she kind of told me that there shouldn't be anything too surprising on this exam, so hopefully I have done enough to prepare and this is going to go well. So I'm going to jump into it now, and I will check in with you after and let you know how it goes. Whew. Okay, so that was intense. I submitted it with like less than 30 seconds left, and my computer was stalling a bit trying to submit, so I was freaking out because if I didn't get it in before that 4-hour mark, it just would not have been graded. I just would have got a 0. So I should have given myself more space to like actually submit it and make sure I got it in, but whatever, it's done, it's in, it's good. I submitted it. It is a piece of shit. It's not a very good, like, well-written essay, but I don't think that they expect that with like 4 hours. They can't expect that really, because it's just impossible to actually write a good paper in that time. So it's more just about like getting your ideas out there and making sure that you have like a coherent argument, which I think I do, although I think my thesis like definitely could have been stronger. My main argument definitely could have been stronger. I think I kind of started to get to my argument like as I was writing it, and then I didn't have time to go back and like fix it in the introduction. So yeah, usually when I write papers, I write the introduction last because my ideas kind of come together as I'm writing it, and like I get my thesis out of the writing. But in this case, I wanted to start with the introduction so that I made sure that I had time to like actually have it in there, because it's a pretty important part of this exam. So the question was good. It was something that I had been thinking about quite a lot. It was like a pretty basic question, somewhat to the effects of, can religions save the earth? Like, can religions have positive environmental impacts, and when they do, and like looking at when they do and also when they don't and things like that. So yeah, it's I think my first half is pretty good, and then it just kind of goes downhill. My conclusion was absolute trash. I did not have time to finish it, so I almost thought about like just deleting it and not having a conclusion at all, like it was that bad, but whatever. It's fine. It's done. I'm happy to be done this part. This is the really stressful part, so I'm glad to kind of have that over with. So I am extremely caffeinated right now and extremely hungry, so I think that I'm gonna make some dinner soon and then just like take the rest of the evening off and relax, because that was an intense experience. And tomorrow is going to be another study day for me, and then the day after that is when I have the second part of this exam, which is the 24-hour exam. So I have 24 hours to write 2 essays, and yeah, I think that will be a little bit easier, a little bit like less stressful. But last time for the general comps, writing the 24-hour exam was chaos because I did not plan my time accordingly. So this time around, I'm really going to make sure to do that, not go off on tangents, and make sure that I give myself enough time to like actually write the second essay, because I did not really do that last time. So thus far today has not been the uber productive day that I was hoping it would be. I have not really done much studying yet. It's like 4 o'clock now, and basically all I've done today is like run some errands. I had to pick up a book from the library that is on my reading list, and I still haven't read. Still didn't even have it, so got that. Gonna read that like tonight and get as much of it read as possible, since I think it looks like an interesting book and one that I might end up talking about. So yeah, I figured better late than never, right? Better really, really fucking late than never. So for the rest of the evening, I am just going to be reading this book and doing as much as I possibly can to get myself feeling like I'm prepared for the exam that I'm going to be starting tomorrow. I'll probably start it sometime in the afternoon, maybe like around noon, maybe a little bit before. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet, because it is 24 hours, but like I do need to make sure that I am sleeping during that time. Like for the Gen Comps, I think I got like 2 hours of sleep, honestly, during that 24-hour period, which was not good. That was like a really bad decision on my part, so I'm going to try to plan my time a lot better this time around and learn from those past mistakes. So yeah, I'm gonna get to studying. I also need to go out again and vote for like our regional area, since that is today, and I forgot to do that earlier while I was out. So gonna also go out and do that at some point. So I will check in with you in a little bit. So we just voted.
You?
I voted for the Communist Party, obviously.
Yeah, Sarah's a commie.
And yeah, I don't know what the new blue party is.
They're like super conservatives.
Like, oh, okay.
They're like American conservatives.
Okay. Well, Nathan was saying that there's like, what, a 90% chance that the conservatives are going to win, so.
I mean, who knows, but yeah, roughly. 93% conservative majority, so yeah. Gotta do something.
Yeah. Yep.
No more Uncle Doug!
Yeah, really. He is Ontario's current premier, and he is not doing a good job, so we'll see.
Unless you're rich and white.
Yeah, yeah. Hello again. So I am in bed, chilling out. Got a heating pack on my neck because I carry all of my stress and anxiety in my neck, so it is pretty much always sore. So yeah, just got this heating pad on. I have been spending most of the evening just doing some more reading. Been reading this book, Landscapes of the Secular by Nicholas Howe, that I just picked up from the library earlier today, and I am really like just kicking myself for not having read this book earlier. I think that like I thought that it wasn't going to be super relevant to my own like research and kind of the things that I'm interested in, because it does have a lot to do with like the law and like legal studies and like political geography, which isn't exactly kind of my area of interest. But oh my goodness, like I really wish that I kind of had read this book before, especially for answering the question on the exam yesterday, because it's just like super, super relevant to what I was talking about. And I feel like this would have been like a really important kind of connecting piece to have in there. And yeah, it's just making me feel like even worse about the essay that I wrote yesterday. Like I feel like throughout the day I've just been feeling progressively worse about it and like hating it more and more. And just like I've just been like becoming increasingly embarrassed about it, but I need to shut up about it and get over it because it's done, and hopefully I'll have like a chance to redeem myself with the 2 essays tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have a chance to like talk about this book a bit and bring it into my answers. Hopefully I'll be able to like find a way to kind of weave it in there somehow, because it is really, really interesting. It's about like sacred landscapes in America and like sacred sites within landscapes and the kind of like religious secular divide within America. and about how that kind of plays out in like legal systems and how that affects people's connections to the land, whether they're coming from like a secular perspective or like a religious perspective. And it's really interesting, especially the way it kind of gets into the way that like Christian sites, especially like Protestant sites and symbols in the landscape, are kind of given a certain privilege in that they can at times be like written off as being secular, like they can kind of pass as being secular, and they have like a kind of, yeah, like just like a privilege in that sense. So like you can have, you know, various war memorials out kind of in on like public lands that have like crosses and like obvious like religious imagery and things like that, and people can make the argument that these are just like secular sites and that Christianity is just part of American cultural heritage and history. And it just really plays into the fact that like America is like, it's secular, but it's kind of like a Protestant secular, like a secularism that comes out of Protestantism, and Christianity is definitely favored. And especially thinking about this in comparison to like Native American religious sites and like sacred sites, and the way that their claims to sacred sites and land are often disregarded completely. And you know, the land is used for various like secular purposes in America, often kind of disrespecting indigenous traditions and beliefs and things. And this often just gets kind of written off as inconsequential and like unimportant, and especially like when it's taken to the courts, because the courts kind of they have this idea of religious freedom that's really based on Protestantism, and like this idea of what counts as religion that is based on Christianity. And you know, Native beliefs don't really fit into this, especially because they have the idea that the sacred and the land are very much interconnected. They can't really be separated from one another. And this is not really something that's comprehensible within like a Christian framework or like a legal framework. So yeah, it's really interesting and really important, and would have been really great for what I was writing about yesterday. So I do hope that I get to talk about it tomorrow. So I am going to just finish up this chapter that I'm currently reading and then try to go to sleep. And yeah, hopefully not fall asleep at like 4 a.m. because it took me a long time to fall asleep last night, and it was just a bit of a rough night. I don't know why. Maybe anxiety for this exam. So hopefully tonight I will be able to sleep a little bit better. Today is the day that I start the second portion of my comprehensive exams for the final time. So I'm just about ready to start. It is almost 1 o'clock now. I was really hoping to start it like a lot earlier, at least like by noon at the very latest, but then life kind of just happened. And yeah, I also didn't wake up as early as I had planned to, so that's fine. It just means that I'll also have more time tomorrow afternoon to work on this as well. So that's fine. And yeah, I am a little bit nervous. I have no idea like what to expect for the questions, and I'm just really hoping that I can get questions that like I can show my strengths and my knowledge and my like ability, things that I can write a really good essay on, and things that like are interesting to think about and that will hopefully apply to my research project going forward in some way. As far as time management goes, I'm going to give myself, I think, like half an hour right at the beginning as soon as I start, just to plan out each essay and like figure out which texts I'm going to use for each question, because I have 2 questions and I don't want to be like repeating the same texts in either of them. So I'm going to plan that out first to kind of get like a really rough outline for each. And then I think the next half hour I will spend writing the outline for the first essay. And then from there, I think I'm going to allot myself like 6-ish hours to write the first essay. And then I'll obviously like need some breaks in there for like lunch and dinner and stuff. And then I will, the rest of the evening, I will spend just working on the second essay and hopefully get like a good portion of that done today. And then tomorrow, when I get up and work on it again, I will hopefully finish that second essay and then do any edits that need to be done to both of them. So that's where I'm at with the planning. I just really need to make sure that I'm not spending way too much time on the first essay again, because that just was chaotic and bad for the Gen Comp. So I'm going to try to stick to this like loose schedule that I have and just make sure that I am using my time in the most effective manner. Okay, so I just opened the questions, read through them, they're like really long questions, so it took me a minute to kind of like work through them and figure out what I was actually being asked from some of them. And one of the questions I feel like I can do a really good job answering, I feel like I've thought about this a lot. It has to do with like differences in methodological approaches to religion and the environment, and how different kind of methods treat them, like environmental studies versus religious studies versus like anthropology, things like that. So that's something that I've been thinking about a lot, and I think I can answer pretty well. The other 2 questions are things that I have like kind of been thinking about. One has to do with like paganism and like the type, like the label of pagan basically, and like whether it's useful in contemporary kind of like spirituality and pagan research and my own research. And then the other one has to do with like publics and counter publics and kind of like religion and media. So these are things that I have kind of been thinking about, and I feel like I could write a decent essay on either of them, hopefully, but I'm just not entirely sure yet which one I will pick. I'm leaning towards the like publicity and like public one, just because I feel like that's something that, but partially because like I feel like it's something that I haven't written about yet and haven't really thought about that much yet in my degree, or like across my education in general. And like I've written and thought a lot about paganism, so I'm thinking maybe I want to challenge myself a little bit and like use this as an opportunity to kind of explore that like media dimension of religion, because that is going to be part of my like research proposal that I have due at the end of the month. And this field comps exam is supposed to be kind of helping me prep for that. So if I do some of that writing and thinking now, then hopefully that will help me down the line. And yeah, so that's what I'm thinking of doing. Also, I used like a lot of the like paganism resources in the last question that I answered for the 4-hour one, so I don't necessarily want to like repeat those texts again. So I'm thinking that if I go in like a different direction, then that gives me an opportunity to show more of like a breadth of knowledge, even though answering the question that's like specifically on paganism would maybe be easier for me and would maybe be like, you know, more in line with the stuff that I've already been thinking about and talking about a lot. So since this is an exam that's about, you know, a breadth of knowledge and having like a kind of a wide range of knowledge and being able to speak about a wide range of topics, I think that it would be strategically like advantageous for me to answer the one on publics and publicity and religion and media. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I am going to jump into outlining now, and yeah, I'm going to set a timer, make sure that I don't go over the limit there, because I want to be staying on track with time today, because that is going to be really important.
But I don't know how to be just friends, 'cause I would love
not even done my response for the first question. So I've already spent like way too long on it. I think I have like most of my body paragraphs written for that now. I really just need to write a conclusion and an introduction and maybe one other paragraph in there. But oh my god, I feel like I really lost where I was going with that essay. I don't even know, like, in the end if I actually answered the question. So I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something and I should probably like go back and fix that. But I really like need to be moving on to the second question now, since I have left myself less time than I would have liked to do that. I've just been like pacing around the office the past little while because I feel the need to get up and move after sitting in front of the computer for so many hours straight. Yeah, I am still feeling pretty awake, kind of, but also mentally exhausted and just like tired of writing. So I think I'm gonna take like a little 5-10 minute break and then just like dive right into working on the second question, which I don't know, hopefully will be easier to write than this one. Hopefully I can kind of stay on topic and like stick to what I'm trying to say and make sense a little bit more with this one, because yeah, this first one definitely got away from me, which is something that I said I was not gonna do. I was trying to be very like conscious about not going off on like tangents and kind of losing the plot, and then that happened. And this is why I hate writing essays, like just writing them and like not having a coherent like big outline first, because when I just write, I just lose it. Like I just don't even know where I'm going or what I'm saying, and yeah, just not feeling confident about this one. So we will see. I am ready to move on though. I think that I will leave the rest of this for tomorrow, return to it tomorrow morning, hopefully feeling a bit more fresh and like I can come back at it with new eyes and work on it some more and hopefully actually answer the question a little bit better. I moved to the bed, so now I have a little helper. Hi. Hi, are you helping? Are you gonna write this for me? You wanna take over? No. Sadly not. Hello, happy Sunday. So I finished my exam yesterday, though I did forget to vlog it. It was pretty rough. I started at like 7:30 in the morning after getting like less than 4 hours of sleep because I went to bed pretty late, and yeah, was writing the rest of it on like very little energy in the tank, very little fuel. But I think it went like okay. I'm more just like happy to be done now, honestly. I'm glad it's over with. I really hope that I passed so that I don't have to like redo it or anything, because that would be absolutely awful. Overall, I don't think that I was as prepared as I should have been for this exam. I feel like I could have done a lot better, and the questions that I got were like good questions and like things that I was kind of thinking about, but at the same time, I think that I should have prepared like a lot more and a lot better for this. Especially there were some texts that like I didn't read very much of. Like I read maybe like the introduction and conclusion of a few of them, and I feel like had I read more of those texts, that would have been really helpful for this exam. So I feel like, again, this comprehensive exam vlog is maybe advice on what not to do if you are someone who is also studying for your comps exams or going to take them soon. So yeah, I would definitely recommend being more prepared and doing more practice questions, because I didn't really do any this time around. I made like a couple outlines for like practice question essays, but I didn't actually write them out, and I feel like that would have been really helpful going into this. But oh well, it's done. Hopefully it's okay. The one question that I answered on the 24-hour portion, I am pretty concerned about, because I don't think that I actually answered the question, like going back and kind of looking what I said. I feel like I kind of realized halfway through that my answer was not aligning with what they were looking for. And then I just couldn't really bail from there. Like I couldn't really like restart it. I just kind of had to keep going and do the best that I could. And yeah, I feel like that one might be a bit of an issue, but I don't know. Who knows? I will let you know once I know my results. I don't know how long that's going to take. It could be like a couple weeks. It could be like a month, depending on when my committee is able to get around to grading it. And yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. Hopefully, like I'm really hoping that I pass. Keep your fingers crossed for me, because I am honestly a little bit concerned. So, I failed to do any vlogging yesterday, first of all, because when I woke up, I just like started writing and did not do anything else until I was at the end time of my exam. So I didn't film any of that. And then afterwards, I had to go out to the mall to see about finding a dress and some shoes and some other stuff for my friend's wedding, which is tonight, that I am super excited for, very happy for them. It's been a long time coming. They were planning on getting married originally 2 years ago, and then the pandemic hit like right around the time that they were planning to tie the knot, so that was really unfortunate. And yeah, it's been a whole 2 years, and now finally we get to celebrate them making it official. So that should be a lot of fun. I didn't actually find a dress yesterday out shopping because I couldn't find anything that checked all the boxes of being something that fit, to being something that I actually liked, and being something that was a decent price. But I did manage to find some like pretty cute shoes that I really like, that I got a good deal on, because there was like a little blemish on them that they gave me some money off for, which is good. And I do have like a dress that I can wear, like a backup dress that I have here. It's just black, which is okay. Like I don't think anyone believes in the superstition that you're not supposed to wear black to a wedding. It's just like not super summery or like fun in that way, so it should be okay. And yeah, I'm just really excited for this. It'll be a good chance to celebrate not only my friends making it official and their holy matrimony, but also it'll be nice to just kind of relax and celebrate and hang out with friends and put all of this exam stress behind me, because this has definitely been a very stressful period for me. So yeah. I still have to do like my hair and my makeup and stuff, so I am gonna do that and get dressed, and then we'll probably head out.
I would wait a lifetime if you were at sea. I just wanna say that I feel that our love is real. Maybe we should hurry up and seal the deal.